What is going on in Enugu Governorship Election Petition Tribunal can be best described as comedy. The PDP candidate, Peter Mbah, seems to have found himself in a deep hole and he can't help himself. He's still digging. After the NYSC representative came to testify in court that the NYSC certificate that Peter Mbah submitted to INEC is fake. After this testimony, what Peter Mbah should have done was to simply resign. Resign, it doesn't matter, and try tomorrow. But instead of resigning, he tried to counter the NYSC. Despite being a lawyer, he knows that when the maker of a document comes to court to say that their document is fake or real, the court takes that testimony as the final and the real testimony and the true situation of the document in question. So it shows the type of person he is. Despite the maker of the document testifying that the document is submitted to INEC is fake, he is still insisting that the document is not fake. Now, before we see the laughable and ridiculous statement by the DSS guy, let's see the other witness that Peter Mbah called. First of all, this other witness is a lawyer, and it happened that Peter Mbah served in his chambers before being appointed as the chief of staff to Chimaroke Nnamani, the then governor of Enugu State. And this witness has been appointed by Mbah as chief of staff to the governor. He tried very hard to mislead the court, but the more he tried, the more he exposed the truth. And going by the documents he tendered in court, they all seem to align with the testimony of the NYSC that Peter Mbah, after being posted to these lawyers' chambers, got an appointment by the then governor of Enugu State. And he wrote a letter to the NYSC to defer his service, of which they refused. They told him that he must complete it, otherwise he will start afresh. And he chose money instead of completing his service. He abandoned his NYSC service and went on to become the chief of staff to Chimaroke Nnamani. So Peter Mbah did not complete the service, and while the witness was under cross-examination, the Labour Party Counsel tendered some documents in evidence. These documents contain charges from the EFCC. The EFCC charged Peter Mbah, the witness, and one other person for money laundering. According to the EFCC, they committed the crime in 2003. That was just around the time that Mbah left his chambers to become the chief of staff. Now, let's see the interesting cross-examination between the DSS guy that came to defend Mbah and the Labour Party Counsel. Were you subpoenaed personally, or is it the DSS? There's no letter from the DG of DSS that authorized you to come to the tribunal to testify. In the report you submitted, there is no attachment of any letter or any document from the NYSC. There's no stamp of the DG of DSS or the DSS itself. There's no letterhead. The report does not have the authority of the DSS. Does your investigation reveal when Peter Mbah completed his NYSC service? My lord, it is not within my findings. After all these questions, the DSS guy could only answer this. The LP Counsel continued though. Your investigation didn't reveal to you that Peter Mbah, or maybe Peter Mbah told you himself that he was appointed chief of staff in 2003? My lord, that wasn't part of my findings. This robotic response. Anyway, going by what is contained in his report, it's obvious that this is a hatchet job. They didn't even involve the DSS themselves. How can they come to court and try to disprove that the maker of the document is lying? What gain? The director of the NYSC said it on national television that Peter Mbah's certificate didn't come from the NYSC. Labour Party also subpoenaed them to come and testify. They came and made the same testimony. So involving the DSS to come and say that it was a problem from the NYSC, that they missed the numbers, that many certificates with some serial numbers are missing, that it is the fault of the NYSC. This is shameful. It's obvious that this is not from the DSS because it doesn't contain anything that shows that it is from DSS. No logo, no letterhead, no signature, nothing. In law, we all know who is supposed to come and defend documents. The maker of the documents is the person that will come and defend it. So the DSS getting involved, or this guy for that matter, because it's obvious that the DSS is not involved in this. This is his personal game. He came to defend Peter Mbah. That's the end. Remember the time of Kemi Adeosun when she claimed that the DSS approved her exemption letter from service, but it was forged. The DSS is not the correct agency that should verify documents. Did they even forward the exemption letter to the NYSC for verification? It's obvious that they didn't, because if they did, the woman wouldn't have scaled screening to become a minister, unless they covered it up, but the letter ended in humiliation because she was forced to resign. So all they are doing in court is just laughable watching all this that is going on. Simply accept and resign. Hey, I made a mistake. This is how it went. Now every other thing has been exposed. Many people didn't even know that he was once detained by EFCC when he was facing charges of money laundering. Now, let's see a bit of what is happening at the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal in Rivers State. The election of the current minority leader in the Federal House of Reps, Honorable Chinda, is being challenged by the Labour Party candidate Ndamati. Chinda represents Obiakpo Federal Constituency, that's the constituency of Nwike, the former governor of Rivers State. The Labour Party candidate Ndamati tendered INEC CTCs of polling unit results used in the conduct of the election. He was only able to submit about 1,120 results out of 1,211. Maybe in their usual manner, INEC refused to submit the rest. So the opponent, Chinda, submitted only the tabulated result form, as you can see. And one particular ward, this ward that is missing, the Labour Party scored more than 1,000 in that ward. But as you can see, it's not included. So they are trying to say that elections didn't hold there. Chinda called only one witness. The Labour Party candidate called 4 witnesses. The whole world saw what happened in Rivers State during the election. Because INEC blocked the uploads of presidential election results, many places in Rivers State, they use thugs to chase away voters. After chasing away the voters, they go somewhere to write the results by themselves. Whether they succeeded in uploading them is another question, but some of these results are part of the more than 18,000 blood results on IREV. Another thing that worked against election riggers was the fact that despite INEC blocking the upload of election results, most of the polling units where thugs didn't go to disrupt the process, they succeeded in doing the side upload. A situation where they finish capturing the image is in memory awaiting connection. Immediately there's connection, it will just upload automatically. So when most of these Beavers machines came online, when the connection was restored, they automatically uploaded the already captured polling unit results. And in some cases, the INEC guys started deleting these images. They deleted some of these images and re-uploaded manipulated results. This is a loophole. They shouldn't have this right, and no administrator can delete any result except ordered by the court. That's the way it's supposed to be. Because if an INEC web administrator has the privilege to delete a result, then he can manufacture one and replace it. They shouldn't have such right. The application should be written in such a way that results can be deleted, except maybe the topmost person, the topmost administrator, can only be the one to delete it. And that's why it's important for them to submit the back-end server reports for independent audit so that we can know who exactly did this, did that, all the fraud that they committed, who was the person that blocked the access on election day. Because during the test they conducted before the election, everything worked perfectly. So it will be interesting to see how the court will deliver justice, because the results submitted by the Labour Party candidate shows that he won by a landslide. So how come INEC declared another person winner when the results in their possession, because INEC gave them these CTCs to submit in court. The CTCs that they gave them proves that the Labour Party candidate won. How come the PDP candidate is the one at Abuja and the minority leader? Thanks for watching.
Unit 2, there was no election here. The PDP thugs have started away with every material.